I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life. And the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay?
Players in one of the ugliest Hollywood disputes in recent memory faced off in a New York City courtroom today.
I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal. Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni, all of the evidence points to that.
Guys, be releasing more documents and text messages.
In a shocking turn of events, Balon has launched a counterattack. He's just unveiled a website packed with 168 pages of explosive documents and hex files. His team is moving at lightning speed to prove his innocence, and it's clear that this saga is about to get even more intense. As Justin Balon's lawyer put it, sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance. And it seems like that's exactly what's happening here. The drama unfolded in a courthouse where a gag order was denied to Blake Lively, sending shockwaves through the room. The tension was palpable as Blake's legal team arrived with a surprise plan, leaving observers stunned. It became clear that this dispute was far from ordinary, and the stakes were higher than ever. The denial of the gag order sparked a flurry of rumors, with some speculating that Blake's team was planning a counterattack by Valentine's Day, a move that could change the course of the case forever. As reporters tried to dig deeper, they were met with tight-lipped responses from both parties. But behind the scenes, it's rumored that Blake's team was gathering statements and seeking sworn testimony from individuals not yet named in the official paperwork. Meanwhile, Justin's attorney, Brian Fredman, insisted that his client's innocence would be proven in due time. Despite the chaotic environment, the question on everyone's mind was, would this strategy help or hurt them? The drama was undeniable, with speculation running wild about how deep this clash might go and who else it might ensnare. By the time the hearing ended, one thing was clear: this legal battle was only just beginning, and its ripple effects could stretch far beyond the courthouse walls. But what really caught everyone's attention were the scathing remarks seemingly directed at people once described as trusted allies. A thread emerged showcasing how a friendly conversation about script revisions quickly spiraled into finger-pointing and talk of behind-the-scenes sabotage. The individuals involved had once presented themselves as a unified front, but these documents suggested that the cracks might have formed long ago. Observers were left wondering if this was a legitimate attempt to clear Justin's name or a calculated effort to smear other players. Either way, it forced anyone following the story to question how much of Hollywood's glossy exterior was nothing more than a strategic performance. To top it all off, the site's footer included a cryptic note hinting that more uploads, possibly even more damning, would be released in the coming weeks. The entire situation felt like a high-stakes chess match, with each move meticulously planned to catch opponents off guard. But those who thought the timeline was the biggest bombshell hadn't yet heard about Ryan Reynolds' startling revelation. In a stunning reversal, Ryan Reynolds, once considered Justin's friend and collaborator, has been revealed to have had a drastic change of heart. The two were previously inseparable, attending fundraisers, charity events, and behind-the-scenes gatherings, often exchanging warm words and interviews. At one point, Ryan even referred to Justin as a wonderful collaborator, praising his dedication to every project he touched. But it seems that was all just a facade, as private messages from just a few months later have come to light, revealing a shocking about-face. In these texts, Ryan allegedly called Justin a deranged predator, a label that has left fans stunned and wondering what could have caused such a drastic shift. The sudden reversal has sparked intense speculation, with some wondering if Ryan learned something new or was coerced into changing his perspective. Others are pointing to personal disputes over creative control or accusations that overshadowed the final production phases. Some conspiracy-minded onlookers are even claiming that these sudden reversals are part of a cunning strategy, perhaps orchestrated by a rival camp looking to drive a wedge between high-profitable names. As the legal chaos continues to unfold, Blake has emerged as a fiercely protective figure, not just of her own image, but also of her closest friends, most notably Taylor Swift. Reports have surfaced that Blake is seeking a special protective order aimed at preventing the dragnet of discovery from ensnaring third parties, hinting that the upcoming legal fray has the potential to pull in high-profile names who might have texted, emailed, or confided sensitive information at one point or another. The moment Taylor Swift entered the conversation, the public's interest soared, with celebrity watchers wanting to know if the pop star had somehow become entangled in this drama without even realizing it. What's clear is that Blake is prepared to fight tooth and nail in court, especially if it means shielding her personal circle from unwanted scrutiny. Given the intensity of the dispute, many are wondering if this protective measure will be enough or if it will merely signal a readiness to escalate further. For those following the day-by-day revelations, it feels like a fuse has been lit and the spark is inching closer to a powder keg. A recent detail about the intimacy coordinator has underscored how deep these issues might run. Despite sounding like a behind-the-scenes formality, the presence of an intimacy coordinator on set often means heightened caution when filming sensitive scenes. Rumors suggest that this role can also become a flashpoint for disputes about creative direction, personal boundaries, and blame if anything goes wrong. The entire controversy has been turned on its head, with critics of the production pointing to these hush-hush moments as evidence that bigger scandals might be lurking beneath the polished veneer of Hollywood PR statements. Meanwhile, those defending Blake argue that she was already well-versed in on-set protocols and didn't need a refresher course. By this stage, the conversation had ballooned into a multi-layered saga involving not just the stars themselves, but also the lesser-known crew members who found themselves questioned about every detail, from the wording of their NDAs to the length of each private meeting. Little did anyone realize that the testimonies from various cast and crew members would soon ramp up the intrigue even more. In this particular case, the coordinator reported organizing a crucial meeting that many cast members attended, eager to discuss potential pitfalls and ensure everyone felt comfortable. However, Blake was conspicuously absent, fueling theories that certain unspoken matters, perhaps awkward encounters or simmering resentments, played a pivotal role in the drama. Some have shrugged off her non-attendance as scheduling conflicts or personal preference, but this has only added to the speculation and intrigue surrounding this explosive case. Interestingly, several key figures had until recently rallied around Justin Balon, with one testimonial coming from Brandon Sinar, who worked closely with Justin and publicly described him as exceptionally warm and collaborative. According to these accounts, there was no tension on set, everyone got along seamlessly, cast morale was high, and the environment seemed supportive. These statements painted a picture of harmony, which directly contradicted the scorching allegations found in text messages later shared online. In those messages, the same people praising Justin in interviews appeared to express worry or outright distrust behind closed doors. Some claimed they felt pressured to maintain a positive image in public, fearing repercussions if they didn't toe the line. Such contradictions forced onlookers to confront the possibility that many players in Hollywood juggled dual narratives, a pleasant facade for fans and media, and a raw, more vulnerable reality among insiders. At the same time, Blake herself had also received commendations for her welcoming presence and knack for making people feel at ease. Crew members recounted moments when she brought in small gifts or organized casual gatherings to boost morale. Yet these warm stories stood at odds with the knowledge that she was now spearheading a fierce legal challenge, presumably preparing to release documents that might put several individuals in a negative light. The more fans learned, the more they wondered. Were these showbiz compliments simply empty platitudes necessary for self-preservation? Or had genuine goodwill once existed, only to be corroded by undisclosed incidents that shattered trust? As observers pieced together accounts from all corners, it became clear that this situation was not black and white. People who once shared laughter on talk shows were now communicating through attorneys and carefully worded statements. With each new revelation, the drama extended far beyond typical celebrity gossip, exposing a high-stakes environment where reputations and relationships could be torn apart by a single document leak or a few revealing text messages. And as if the personal stakes weren't high enough, many began to realize that what was unfolding here could have a much larger impact on how Hollywood handles internal disputes in the future. Blake's protective order request for third parties like Taylor Swift underscored the possibility that no one, no matter how famous or seemingly uninvolved, was entirely safe from being pulled into the conflict. Meanwhile, watchers grew fixated on the Valentine's Day deadline looming over the case, many wondering what would happen next in this explosive saga. As the drama unfolds, many are speculating that once Blake's team files their counterattack, the floodgates will open, revealing even more text exchanges, insider accounts, and possibly explosive depositions. Undisclosed emails or suppressed video footage could see the light of day, and if so, how would that reshape public perceptions of the actors and producers at the center of this storm? The bigger question involves the long-term consequences. High-profile stars like Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively typically wield enormous influence, enough to mitigate most scandals with the right public relations strategy. But in this scenario, it feels like even they might be vulnerable to irreversible damage. Do studios want to risk hiring individuals embroiled in a public legal spectacle? Will fan loyalty waver if the final revelations are too inflammatory? While fans, critics, and casual observers scramble to keep up with each fresh leak, one thing is certain: this storm is far from over. Justin Balon's stance, as shown by that meticulously detailed website and the voluminous documents, suggests he believes he has the truth on his side. Ryan Reynolds' abrupt shift from praising collaborator to condemning alleged adversary signals massive friction that may have been building for a long time. Blake Lively, for her part, has demonstrated she's not afraid to protect herself, her friends, and possibly her brand, even if it means dropping a bombshell motion right in the middle of a highly publicized legal fight. Layered on top is the confusion about sincerity and authenticity among all those glowing cast testimonials, which now appear sharply at odds with the private tensions revealed behind the scenes. Each element of this situation, public endorsements turned sour, protective orders sought for world-famous pop stars, and a script of alleged events that reads like an espionage thriller, calls into question the true nature of Hollywood, a place rife with secrets, alliances, and hidden conflict. The question that lingers is whether any of these relationships can ever return to what they once were, now that so much damaging material has come to light. Perhaps it's a cautionary tale for everyone in the spotlight. The digital age leaves little room to hide, and alliances forged in the glare of cameras can disintegrate almost overnight if suspicion takes root. If there's one takeaway from these tumultuous events, it's that no amount of fame or fortune can guarantee safety when conflicts of this magnitude erupt. And with so many moving parts still in play, only one certainty remains. The final chapters of this saga could arrive any moment, turning everything we think we know upside down once again. The countdown to Valentine's Day is ticking, and the next revelation might be more explosive than anything we've seen so far. As the story continues to unfold, there's always more to discover. Stay tuned for the latest updates, and get ready for the next shocking twist in this Hollywood drama.